Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Elm Creek Farms, episode number 22. And as I record this episode, is early in the morning on Christmas Eve. And boy, I tell you, we have got a lot of good news that's hitting the Farm Sim community in the recent 24 hours or so. We've got some new maps that's expected to be released today, Christmas Eve, as well as Courseplay is supposed to be released today, Christmas Eve, and of course, you guys will be watching this episode on Tuesday. I'm not even going to pretend to try to figure out what day of the month that is just right now. It's too early. I've only had about 3 or 4 sips of my first cup of coffee, so all of this is going to be without a whole lot of caffeine, but I will get caffeinated as we go along. We are in a brand new game day. We'll go ahead and bump the clock up there just a little bit. And yeah, our canola is ready to harvest. And so that is what we're going to do this morning while I consume some caffeine and wait for my wife to wake up and all of that good stuff. And so yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the good things that are coming to FarmSim here in the coming days, or maybe even in the coming hours. And again, like I said before, um, you guys are watching this episode a couple of days after I have recorded it. Just it's kind of the routine that I have found that works best for me for a couple of reasons. One, it allows me the flexibility to record episodes when I have time to do so. And of course, I've got a little bit more time now than I did when I was working full time. The other thing it allows me to do is it allows me to basically queue content up in YouTube because for those of you who do produce content for YouTube or have produced content for YouTube, you know that it takes a little while sometimes for YouTube. Let me get out and hook this PTO up and these other lines. And there we go. And the lines are connected, so we're good to go. But as you know, it takes a little while after you upload a video. Not to mention the amount of time that it takes to edit and all of that good stuff. But it takes a little bit of time once you upload the video before the video has been processed and it's in its HD version and all that good kind of stuff. And let's go ahead and get things turned on and let's get started harvesting this canola. We're going to silo all of this canola now. We're hoping that essentially we can get a better price for it um, in the coming months. I think probably unless something has changed again with the whole Giants crop pricing and everything, I think December is going to be a good time. November or December is going to be a good time to do this. So let's get our GPS turned on here just so we can do this in some straight lines, and we will set our width, and we're going to drop our A line in there, and then we'll go forward and then put our B in just a moment. But yeah, definitely lots of good things. But kind of back to the YouTube schedule thing, um, is that it takes a little while for videos to process, and so by me kind of keeping a queue of videos that have not yet been seen by you, um, it allows that time to take. So I'm not basically, scrounging to try to record a video, edit that video, get that video uploaded to YouTube, get it live on YouTube within a within a few hour time frame or short time frame. I'm generally uploading things like, for example, the video that you watched yesterday on Monday. That's been uploaded for 4 or 5 days and ready to go. but just set to air on a certain day. So anyway, lots of good things, and of course, again, just back to the YouTube thing one more time. Um, that of course that does mean that sometimes you see things or you are experiencing things that are somewhat out of sync with what I'm experiencing. So, for example, you already know that by the time you watch this, you possibly already know that Courseplay came out on Christmas Eve, if in fact it did. I mean, I literally have been up for about 30 minutes or so. Like I said, it is early on Christmas Eve. Just woke up early, just one of those things. Being a middle-aged man, I suppose. You just wake up early. I've turned into my dad in some respects, but so I didn't even check to see it's possible that it is actually already out, but wasn't planning on using it this this early in the gameplay anyway. Don't really need it for this field. Might take advantage of it for the wheat field that should be able to harvest next video, or somewhere in that time frame next game day. So the cool thing about Courseplay is it looks like it is taking advantage of the FarmSim 22 sort of menu mechanism that we have become accustomed to with FarmSim 22, somewhat similar to AutoDrive has. And I've got AutoDrive installed, and I've been playing around with it and learning a little bit about AutoDrive and how it might be able to help me on the farm here. And of course, as I said in the previous episode, AutoDrive was something that I never really looked at that closely with FarmSim 19 or even 17 if it was available for that version, because I was just a huge fan of Courseplay. So it really is going to be kind of wait and see sort of thing to see if Courseplay is going to be, or if AutoDrive is going to be something that I'm still going to want to use and learn, since Courseplay is due out, you know, any time now, if not already. So we will see. The other thing that is coming out today, supposedly it's coming out today, is a brand new, huge 16x, 16 times the size map of North Dakota, a farm area in North Dakota. It's based on real world geography, if you will. I don't know if the mod author is from that area, or if he just picked a spot on Google Earth and said, that looks pretty darn interesting. Let's make a map out of this area. And it is huge. I mean, it's a 16x map. So obviously, if you have never played anything that big, it's going to be a good example of one of the types of maps that, you go big or you go home. In other words, you're going to want to break out that big, maybe that big new versatile tractor that has come out for FarmSim 22, or maybe you're going to want to break out the big John Deeres, or the big Case quad track, something like that. And I'll remind you that the case pack, if you have not downloaded that yet from simplysafemods.com, definitely do that. Rubber Burner 89 has done a very good job of with that. And I will go ahead and say, because even though it's not live right now in this video, there's no chance of this video being seen before Christmas morning, but Rubber Burner worked his tail end off to bring about the Horse Pack, which was back in FarmSim 17, and he brought that to FarmSim 22 in all of its glory. All 17 pieces, I believe, of that Horse Pack that came out for FarmSim 17. He's brought that forward to FarmSim 22, and has released that exclusively on simplysafemods.com. And he coordinated that release with me several days ago, so that it would be available and be active and downloadable, if you will, first thing on Christmas morning, sort of his Christmas gift to the Farm Sim community. And I'm was very excited because I'm speaking kind of in the past tense here and in the present tense, I suppose, or future tense. Really excited that Simply Safe Mods could bring that release to you all. You guys have been such fantastic um, uh, friends of the modding site, and it is really appreciative of all that you guys, the patience that you have put up with as the site has had some problems in the past, um, which I've talked about a little bit in previous videos, mainly kind of centered around growing pains. Because again, the web server I sort of had before Simply Safe Mods came about, and I just put it on an existing server that I was paying for, that I had paid about 5 years in advance for. And when I put Simply Safe Mods on it, I had about 2 years left of that contract. And Simply Safe Mods will be 2 years old in January, very early January. And so it just had to work through some of those things, some of those growing pains. And we're on a brand new server, brand new host, and we've got some scalability which we did not have with the previous host and the previous server. And so as Simply Safe Mods continues to grow in popularity, and I certainly hope that it does, because I believe that we offer the community something quite unique. And if you're brand new to my videos, and especially brand new to this video, and you've not heard me talk about simplysafemods.com, then definitely go check it out. The link is down below in the show notes. And what we do at simplysafemods.com that is different from other mod hosting websites is that we work directly with the mod author to essentially, we'll just go ahead and pipe out here for a second, and we'll raise that up, and then we're going to get out and run over and get our tractor. But we work directly with the mod author to host his or her mods, and then of course they are part of the Simply Safe Mods community, the Discord community, and they are helping to provide support for their mods. And the good thing about when you download a mod from simplysafemods.com, and no, we do not go out and scour the internet looking for mods to upload to the site. We don't upload mods that are also available on Giants Mod Hub. I don't have the time to do that, and don't believe that it's necessary. If a mod is on Giants Mod Hub, that is sufficient in my opinion. It does not need to be on other. It does not need to be on other mod hosting websites. There's no need for that. Um, in my opinion, you're not providing a convenience factor by having it on a bunch of different other websites. People can go to Giants Mod Hub either from in-game or through the web browser and obtain their mods. But anyway, we do work directly with the mod author, and we host those, and so that way you're guaranteed that you're getting a genuine copy of those mods, fresh from the mod author. We test the mods. In most cases, if I have time, I do um, either a 5-minute mod review video of those mods that are uploaded on YouTube, or sorry, uploaded on simplysafemods.com, or at the very least, I have spent some time with those mods in my own gameplay, just to make sure that those mods work and that they're genuine. And of course, we've got some very talented mod authors that are part of the Simply Safe Mods community. People like Bullet Bill, CCS 101, Rubber Burner, just to name a few. And these individuals, they do their own testing. They have their own testing teams. And so when we get a mod from CCS 101 as an example, you know, it's good to go. It is ready to go. It is doesn't need a whole lot of testing on my behalf, anyways. Let's just back up and grab this little bit of canola here. We're certainly wanting to try to make as much money as we possibly can here on Elm Creek Farm. We obviously set this farm up with with a amount of money that pre-existed when we came into the game, plus a whole bunch more. But we're kind of doing things now, trying to grow and expand based on the money that we have available to us. The cash that you see in the upper right-hand corner, $478,000 and some change, that is money that we have earned through our bakery, through our greenhouses, through selling honey, through those kinds of endeavors. And we're obviously going to try to expand our operations. We're going to merge a few additional fields up the hill there that's part of the main farm. We're going to look at purchasing fields away from the main farm to continue to grow and expand so that we can do things more, perhaps soybeans, more canola, more things like that, that we're just selling directly to individual businesses in town. Um, I'm kind of in two minds about the whole industry kind of thing. On I want those extra pieces of canola there as well. Might as well waste not, want not, right? Um, the whole industry kind of thing. Um, I think it's and I know a lot of people. Obviously we had these kind of mods for Farm Sim 19 as an example, and I know that a lot of people are interested in that kind of stuff, and I have been from time to time. I guess that maybe the way the economy was when the first game when Farm Sim 22 first came out, and I know that they've made some adjustments to that, and it's only been a little bit of time. I've got maybe 4 or 5 game sessions on the new patch since they adjusted that economy, and we'll see if that continues. I guess what I'm trying to say is that um, I invested heavily on greenhouses with this gameplay. I invested in the mill and the bakery, those kind of things. I don't know if those are going to be things that I'm going to continue to do as more additional maps come out for Farm Sim 22. It is yet to be determined. For example, grapes. Is grapes really going to be worth the extra effort? It's kind of those crops that are new to the base game that you want to try out, sort of like poplars were when those first came out for, I think, Farm Sim 17, or perhaps sugarcane when 17 came out, and you kind of try it and you go, okay, this is cool, but I'd rather kind of just go back to harvesting corn and soybeans and wheat and stuff like that, and sort of be that kind of a farmer versus trying to do everything else, because I don't know. I guess the other thing is that with me, there's always a level of immersion that I enjoy trying to capture, trying to be a part of within my gameplay. And um, and so I sometimes ask myself, okay, well, is this really is this really what an everyday modern farmer is doing? An example of that is with forestry. I don't know. Certainly, I know that farmers in the real world. I'm sure that Millennial Farmer. I'm sure the guys from Montana, our farming life in Wyoming. I'm sure those guys have cut some trees down before, to make room for field expansion, or just something is in the way or whatever. And I've always felt like, okay, well, that's a fair thing. That's something that a farmer, a real life farmer, the average real life professional farmer is going to do in his or her lifetime, is probably cut down a few trees, maybe expand a farm, remove some stumps, and such as that. I I don't see these guys, those that I named, running the big scorpion tree harvesters and going into it huge like that. And I guess that's one thing that's kind of steered me away from that, even though I have done some forestry in some of my YouTube videos. And I'm not saying I'm never going to do forestry again, because from time to time it is kind of cool to take the Scorpion into a forest and just, start leveling trees. But it's just something that, in my immersion, what I'm looking for to get out of the game, it's just not something that that interests me that big. Okay. And it's the same with animal types as well. It's like, okay, when horses first came out, yeah, that was kind of cool. We've raised some horses in some of the Let's Plays. And I'm not saying never say never, but I'm just saying that it's quite possible that, that I'm not going to necessarily mess around with horses in Farm Sim 22. I like what they've done with cows. I'm having fun with our dairy here. Would probably entertain the idea of doing some raising some sheep, and then maybe even pigs. I think pigs are a little more profitable in Farm Sim 22 than they were in 19, and it doesn't have to be about dollars and cents with me. It doesn't. I don't necessarily play every single map, every single Let's Play as that starving kind of starving farmer kind of concept where I need to make every penny count. And I know that goes into the level of immersion for a lot of people, and that's important for a lot of people. But sometimes I like to just come into a map and have all the equipment at my fingertips to be able to put together, a whether it's a storyline, if I'm doing kind of a role play situation, which I know I'm pretty bad about going in and out from role play versus just talking real world stuff. But anyway, so enough about all of that. One final point as I kind of wrap things up, because we're getting a little further into this video than I necessarily had planned to as far as time goes. Over the last couple of days, I have been working on updating my mod spreadsheet. As you all know, I started this when I started my YouTube channel. It was something that was important to me, as I watched YouTubers back in the Farm Sim 15 days before I started my channel in either 2015 or 2016. I was watching a lot of folks, a lot of YouTubers, content creators, and I was seeing them play with various mods in their gameplay, and sort of wondering to myself, okay, well, where do I get that? You know, that's cool. I'd like to have that on my farm. And some folks were, kind enough to tell you, if you asked them, if you messaged them in the comments, some folks would say, yeah, it's available on, such and such. And of course, as I have told you before, I spent the better part of my first, at least 6 months or so in Farm Sim 15, not really even knowing about mods. I played the base game Westbridge Hills and absolutely loved it. Was having a blast, and then finally figured out, oh, there's this my combine's full. There's this whole thing called mods, and it really enhances your gameplay. And how cool is that? And so, but anyway, I would ask these guys, how do I find that or whatever. And sometimes they give it to me, tell me, and sometimes they wouldn't. And when I started my YouTube channel and started playing Farm Sim 15, I sort of made it a point. My goal was that, if I had a Let's Play, if I had a YouTube channel and I did a Let's Play on a specific map, and I used it, whether that map was a mod or not, or I used mods in that gameplay, that I would basically provide a mod spreadsheet. It is literally a labor of love, because if you yourself are an active mod user of Farming Simulator, in other words, you have a ton of mods yourself in the game, then you know how hard it is to not only sort of, you know, make yourself keep track of where all these things come from, but then maintaining a spreadsheet and all this kind of stuff. So It is truly a labor of love. It's a lot of extra work to do this because I will hear about a mod, I'll go out and download it, and of course, downloading mods from Giants Mod Hub or from SimplySafeMods.com, I don't really even give it a second look. I know that it's been through some testing. I know that it's from the original mod author and everything, and chances are it's not going to have a problem with my game. Now that doesn't mean that's always the case, but in any event. But then to record that on the spreadsheet, keep track of all of that. Well, when I first started playing Farm Sim 22, mods started coming out, and I was downloading mods and getting things set up the way that I wanted things, and I kind of lapsed on keeping the spreadsheet current. And I slapped myself on the wrist and I said, Jerry, remember the commitment that you made. And I know not all YouTubers do this, and that's their thing. That's their thing. It's not a requirement. I don't view this as being something that you're required to do if you're going to run a YouTube channel and play mods in your gameplay. That you should track all this. It's just something that I do. It's something I enjoy doing. It's something I enjoy doing and providing for the community, for my friends that watch my videos. So, long story short, as I wrap things up here so that we can get out before 30 minutes is up, is if you go to my website, grizzlybearsims.com, again, the link is down in the show notes. It's under information, add-on, and mods directory, and it basically will take you to a Google spreadsheet. And in that Google spreadsheet is tabs at the bottom that show all of the simulation-based games that I play, and I track all of the add-ons that I have. So if you're into Flight Sim, obviously I'm heavy into P3D, not so much into Microsoft 2020 right now, but I'm tracking everything that I'm adding to my gameplay, to the sim, and I do it, for multiple reasons. One, I don't do a whole lot of flight sim content on YouTube, but if I were to have a hard drive crash or something like that, and I had not been, actively keeping up with backups and such as that, I've got something that I can go to say, okay, well, this is at least part of what I need to start, restoring for myself. But in any event, the mod spreadsheet really for farming simulator mods is a labor of love for each and every one of you, so that if you see something that I'm playing in the game, you can go take a look at that spreadsheet and it will tell you the location where you can download it. If it is something that I have done a mod review on, then I will have a link to that video on the spreadsheet as well, so that you can kind of see, well, how it works, and that sort of thing for your benefit as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. I am going to wrap things up here. We'll go ahead and possibly start editing this video, or start getting it in the process to start editing it. And then I'm headed upstairs to spend Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day with my wife. Probably will not even turn on my machine until Monday, and start producing content and start playing again here on Farm Sim on Elm Creek um, map for you. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, and God bless you all. And I'll talk to you again here very soon. Bye for now.